Hello everyone, good evening. This is Tofik, your today's instructor. In this video tutorial, we will talk about object-oriented programming. So, what is object-oriented programming? It is basically a programming paradigm which is based on the concept of object and classes. This is basically the textbook definition. We will talk about it briefly. So first of all, what is object? Object is a real world entity which has its own attribute and behavior. Let me take an example. We all have cell phones. Cell phone have its own attribute and behavior. For example, cell phone can take pictures, cell phone can make mobile call, it can be used for music playing, it can be used for playing video games. So these are the behavior of an object of cell phone. Also, it has some specific attribute. For example, it can have size, features, brightness, everything. So object has some attribute and behavior. So what is class? Class is the blueprint of an object, and a class can have multiple objects. So when we are thinking in our previous example that cell phone has attribute and behavior, for every object, if we want some attribute and behavior for that object, that attribute and behavior should be written or designed in somewhere else. That thing is called class for that object. So in short, in one word, object is the instance of a class and class is the blueprint or design of that object. Coming to our next topic, we will talk about the main four features of object-oriented programming, which is abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, and encapsulation. First of all, what is polymorphism? Poly means many and morphism means forms. So polymorphism means multiple forms. It is a programming concept where we will perform the same task in different ways. Let me take an example. Think about ourselves. Me as a person, we can perform in different ways. For example, sometimes we are performing as a student, sometimes we are working as a office worker, sometimes we are doing some personal tasks, sometimes we are doing a family task, household activities, lots of things. So a single person, me, is performing a different ways, different performance. So this thing is called polymorphism in programming language. Secondly, inheritance. Inheritance means acquiring the properties and behavior of one class to another class. It is a place where we have the concept of parent and child class. So for example, we are taking some attribute and behavior, and we are taking some properties and actions. We are writing this in one class, and when we are creating a newer class, we want to acquire that properties and behavior of pre-written existing classes attribute and behavior. So make it easier for you. Let's take an example again. Suppose we have an animal class. Every animal has some common attribute and behavior. For example, they have blood, they have color, eyes, they can have legs, tails, everything, and they have some specific behavior. For example, they can eat, sleep, walk, this kind of common behavior they have. So when we are creating dog, cat, or cow classes, we can use only the specific behavior for dog classes in dog class, only the specific attribute and behavior for cat classes in cat class, and we can acquire the common behavior and attributes from the animal class here. So we do not need to write the newer functionalities, newer attribute and behavior in every classes. So in that way, we are creating inheritance. We are inheriting the one class's properties and behavior. So here, animal class is the parent class, and dog, cat, and cow classes are the subclass or child class. Thirdly, we will talk about encapsulation. Encapsulation is also a very important concept. It is binding the variable and methods together as a single entity. So if we have methods, variable, different kind of attributes, action, everything in one entity, we can bind that, we can say this as a encapsulation in object-oriented programming. Lastly, in our last topic, it is abstraction. Abstraction means showing only the essential parts and hiding the implementation details. For example, we have features where we want to show only the functionalities, only the features to the user. Let me take an example. When we are installing a software or application in our desktop PC or in our phone, we get only the exe file or apk file. We do not need to know as a user what is inside those exe file or apk file. So in programming, if we want to specify some features that we only want to show the specific features to them, and not do not want to show them the application details, implementation details. That is called abstraction. So this is all for today. I hope this you find this helpful.